This is a meditation for grief. So you had something good. Let's start there. You had something good. Maybe it was a relationship, maybe someone you admired or someone you were close with has died or is dying. Grief is natural. We grieve for things that matter. Also, grief is probably an acute situation for you right now if you're listening to this. The acuteness, the sense of being absolutely wrecked with grief, will probably ease with time. But I don't know if we ever entirely get over missing and grieving for people who mattered to us. Also, it doesn't matter to me what you are grieving today. Grief doesn't have to be about a person or a death. It can be about the end of a relationship. It can be about a changing relationship, like kids who are growing up and don't need you in the same ways anymore and aren't as cute in the same ways either. Grief can be about lots of things. Maybe it's about something you had that was good, but maybe it's about something that you needed and didn't get. The grief is valid. You're allowed to grieve. It's natural to grieve. Grief is the sloppy joes of emotion. It's gooey and messy. It's gonna get on your hands. I think it's got some artificial coloring in it, and it doesn't fit very well in a hamburger bun, but for some reason that's how people serve sloppy joes. You never need to eat a sloppy joe if you don't want to, but you will have to grieve at some point if you have good things in your life, or if you want good things in your life. I want you to see if you can put your awareness in the soles of your feet for a moment. Then bring your awareness into your guts for me and see if you can take a deep breath into your belly. I won't count this one. I'll trust you to breathe in and out at a pace that works for you. See if you can do it slowly and really move your belly button when you breathe. If you're moving your shoulders, that's just your chest, and that kind of breathing will keep you alive, but it's not great. Just do what you can. Grief is often complicated. Maybe we're grieving ideas or something that didn't work out the way we wanted, or the loss of a person that you didn't feel close with but wanted to be closer with. Whatever it is you're grieving for right now, I am proud of you for wanting to engage with the grief today. I'm glad you decided to give this video a chance. I want you to take a breath into your gut now, if you can. I'll count it off. Breathe in for me. 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ask you to breathe to try to get you a little more connected to your body and your emotions. You might not want to be in your body right now if you're in a state of grief. Your body might not feel so good. We're bound to feel pretty awful while we're grieving. Grief is a really messy thing to grapple with. It shows up in various ways. I'll just name some emotions, and if you feel any of them, just see if you can be with that feeling. You don't have to push it out or defend it or argue with it, although you're welcome to do those things if they help. And it's okay if you're not sure what you're feeling or if you're not feeling any of those things I'm talking about. Take a breath in for me. I'm not going to count it for you. You're aware that we feel deep sadness while we're grieving. Let's start there in the stupid list of crap we have to feel while we're grieving. We also might feel anger, like serious anger, like, how dare this person leave me? How dare they die? Don't worry if the feelings don't make sense or follow logic. We're allowed to be a little messy and contradictory here. Maybe we feel regret, like we could or should have done something different with the time we had. Perhaps we could have done more, like to spend time with that person or enjoy the relationship or treat them differently even. But we also could have done less to get to know and value this person. Keep in mind, we could have done things worse than we did. Try not to be too hard on yourself judging what you did or didn't do. You probably did a really good job of trying to be a good person in the situation. Back to the feelings you might be having. I got a little distracted there. These next feelings are a little more ephemeral. When we're grieving, we might feel exhausted and agitated and not quite ourselves. We might feel anxious and irritated. And these feelings might all come and go in some random crappy order of operations that doesn't feel healing at all. Doesn't seem like there's any purpose or meaning to these garbage feelings. Never mind all of the logistics that come with grieving, like funeral arrangements or making calls or moving house or any of that sort of real world stuff, which is also going to take something out of you. Thinking and planning and making choices might also feel impossible. Just eating or showering or basic housework might feel like too much. Getting out of bed might feel beyond you some days. Like that is a trick only magicians know how to do. Your cognitive ability, your sense of humor, your natural personality and abilities might feel out of whack. If the people you depend on are also grieving, you might rub each other the wrong way without meaning to, and neither of you might know that this is happening or how to fix it. You might need rest and not know how to rest. It might feel like these feelings are never going to go away. Just see if you can be aware of any of the feelings and experiences I'm naming. Take a breath in for me here. I'll count it on 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done for staying with me, and keep breathing slowly for me, please. If you allow yourself to feel these garbage emotions, you can trust that they will flow out of you naturally. It might feel like intense feelings like sadness and anger will break you, but they won't. I guarantee they won't break you. These are just feelings. You're a lot bigger than a feeling. Your experience of grief might be different than all the stuff I'm talking about, and that's okay too. We're all individuals, and some of this won't apply to you. You don't have to do anything at all, but keep breathing. If you feel yourself connecting with any of these feelings or anything that's coming up for you that I didn't manage to name, just see if you can be graceful with yourself and your experience. Emotions might feel like a lump in your throat or a heaviness in your heart or tears or frustration or tension in your body, or maybe you're worried that you're not doing it right. You are doing it right. This is what grieving looks like. Just take a breath for me slowly here, if you can. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think grief isn't something to push through. We do need to take some time and care with these feelings and how our life is changing and what the person or the situation meant to us. But we can trust that our ancestors have survived grief for millennia, and we can survive it too. Grief is meaningful. Grief washes through us like a tide, and it'll knock us over like a big wave. I don't like standing in the ocean above my waist, because if I go in any further, I end up getting knocked on my butt, which is not fun for me, although it might be fun for you if you were watching from a safe distance. Go ahead now and picture me getting knocked on my butt by one of these waves. Look, I'm under the water for a second, and then when I come up, my hair's all messed up and I'm laughing. I'm fine, so it's okay to laugh. Let's close this grief meditation by putting our awareness in the soles of our feet. Take a second here for me to really feel your feet. Grief can be really unmooring. We might not be sure who we are or how we're feeling or what to do next. Sometimes feeling our feet can be helpful to feel a little more grounded in the moment. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Please take special care of yourself while you're grieving, and come back again soon for more practical and slightly goofy meditation videos.